All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are tackling one of the most annoying problems for anybody who loves houseplants. We're going to lay out the definitive plan to finally get rid of fungus gnats, not just for a little while, but for good.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That little puff of black flies that just explodes every single time you go near your plants. You swat at them, you set out little traps, but it doesn't matter what you do, they just keep coming back. It's maddening, right? Well, there's a very good reason why nothing you've tried has actually worked.
That's right. Here's the big secret. The problem isn't those little flies buzzing around your head. They're just the symptom, the tip of the iceberg. The real source of the entire infestation, the real enemy, is totally invisible to you, hiding right under your nose.
So, if we're going to win this war, we have to understand the battlefield. And more importantly, we have to understand who we're actually up against. It's time to stop swatting randomly and start thinking strategically.
Okay, first things first, let's make sure we've identified the right target. Fungus gnats, our enemy, look like tiny little mosquitoes, and they love to hang out right on the soil of your plants. Fruit flies, on the other hand, are a bit rounder, kind of tan, and they're the ones obsessed with your fruit bowl or that gunk in the kitchen drain. This difference is absolutely critical, because that famous internet hack you've probably tried is designed for the wrong pest entirely.
Okay, let's really dig in here. The real fight isn't happening up in the air. No, it's a secret war going on just beneath the surface of the soil in your pots. Will you look at this? This is the aha moment. The adult flies that you actually see flying around, they only make up about a quarter of the entire gnat population in your home. A whopping 75% of their life is spent as eggs, larvae, and pupae, all hiding in the top couple of inches of your potting soil. That soil is a gnat factory, and it has been running 24/7. And here's why it gets out of control so fast. Every single one of those adult females can lay up to 200 eggs right back into that nice, moist soil. So you can see how killing one fly while 200 more are just waiting to hatch is a battle you are never, ever going to win.
So, now that we know who we're fighting and where we're fighting them, let's talk about why that famous apple cider vinegar trap you see all over the internet is doing absolutely nothing to help you.
And look, this isn't just an opinion. This comes directly from scientific studies. That sweet, fermenting smell of vinegar, it's like a siren song for fruit flies, but fungus gnats just could not care less. They're looking for fungus and decay in soil, not your salad dressing. So if your vinegar trap is empty, it doesn't mean you're gnat-free. It just means you're using the wrong bait for the wrong pest. So what does work for the adults? Yellow, sticky traps. For whatever reason, fungus gnats are just drawn to the color yellow like, well, a moth to a flame. Now let's be clear, these traps alone will not solve the problem down in the soil, but they are an absolutely essential tool for cutting down the number of adults that are laying those eggs. They also give you a really good idea of how bad your infestation is. All right, enough theory. Let's get to the good part, the solution. This is it. This is the comprehensive, multi-phase battle plan that will attack these gnats at every single stage of their life, from egg to adult. We're going to hit this in 3 distinct phases. First, we launch an immediate, hard-hitting attack to just crash their population. Second, we begin a sustained campaign to keep hitting them over and over, completely disrupting their ability to reproduce. And third, we shift into long-term prevention mode to make sure they never, ever come back. Week 1 is all-out war. It is about overwhelming force. First, and this is so important, stop watering. You need to let the top 2 inches of soil in every pot get bone dry. Next, put those yellow sticky traps in every single plant pot. Then, and only when the soil is dry and ready for water, you're going to hit them with this. A soil drench made of 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide mixed with 4 parts water. When you pour it in, you'll actually hear it fizzing. That sound, that's the sound of it destroying eggs and larvae on contact. Okay, after that initial shock and awe campaign, we switch tactics for the next 3 weeks. This phase is all about sustained biological warfare. Every time you water, you're going to include a biological control agent. Your 2 best options are either BTI, which is a naturally occurring bacteria found in products like mosquito bits, or beneficial nematodes, which are these microscopic little worms that actively hunt down and kill gnat larvae in the soil. Both are totally safe for your plants, but absolutely lethal to the enemy. Now, this is super important, so pay attention. You can't just throw everything at the soil at once. The order matters. That hydrogen peroxide drench from week 1, it's a nuke. It kills everything, including the good guy nematodes. So if you use peroxide, you have to wait at least a week before you add nematodes to give the peroxide time to break down.
BTI, on the other hand, is the safe choice. It plays nice with nematodes, so you can use them together.
Let's move on to the final and honestly the most important part. Winning the battle is great, but we're here to win the war. This is how you make sure these pests never get a foothold in your home ever again.
If you remember one single thing from all of this, let it be this. Fungus gnats are not a sign that you're a bad plant owner. They're just a symptom of an environmental problem, specifically soil that stays too wet for too long on the surface. That's it. If you change the environment, the pest literally cannot survive.
So here's your permanent prevention plan. From now on, make it a rule to let that top layer of soil dry out completely between waterings. Get good at bottom watering, which keeps the surface soil nice and dry. You can even add a top layer of sand or pretty stones to create a physical barrier. And please, whenever you bring a new plant into your home, always use fresh, sterile potting mix so you don't accidentally import a whole new army.
So, as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this one last thought. After all the traps and all the drenches and all the treatments, the ultimate power to keep these things away for good doesn't come from a bottle. It's in your hands. True, permanent freedom from fungus gnats is all about changing your habits to create an environment where they just can't get started. It really all comes down to how and when you use that watering can.